On today's episode of The Leen Show, we get all into fish, why Kathleen's obsessed with them, who they are as they kick off their summer tour. Actually, Kathleen and a couple of friends of ours are going to see them this weekend in Alpharetta, Georgia. And so I'm sure next week we'll get a great recap from Kathleen about the show. But as far as this episode's concerned, we also talk about stand-up comedy. We talk about Tom Brady and Kim K's dating rumors and my theory on the situation and some other stuff that we're really excited to share with you. If you guys like the show, then please consider giving us 5 stars on Spotify or liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Also, we are on TikTok and Instagram at The Leen Show. We'll be posting clips there throughout the week. If you guys want to support the show, those are great ways to do it. And thank you to Glazed Eyes for letting us use their single Way Down for our intro and outro song. You can find them on Spotify. Please give them a listen, and let's get into it.
Say the things you want to say, but don't forget the role I used to play. When you feel defeated, like your heart's been cheated, just think about me like before.
Really, the thing about the thing about me is I don't really like watching most stand-up in general. I don't really get a ton from it. I don't really watch a lot of it.
I didn't know that
Not
about you.
unless it's live. There's like a small handful of stand-up specials that I think are like hilarious and love, and I think a lot of them are like
Like,
I
name
don't know,
them.
not really.
Because I love stand-up. It's like my absolute favorite.
Kevin Hart, hilariously funny.
Never seen that.
That's a classic. It's the one where he's like, "Bitch ain't got no nipples."
I don't
and
even
like,
know that reference. I don't know anything about Kevin
no.
Hart, though.
He like it's like fucking yeah, like the story like his mom gives him like whatever. We don't have to talk about it.
What else, though?
But
What
even
other
like
specials?
I mean even like so you know me and Will saw Mulaney in 2021. Like so I think it's called Baby J, right? That's the Netflix special, the Mulaney Netflix special that came out like a month or two ago. He's wearing the red suit.
I didn't even know. Why did that not pop up on my like promotions in Netflix? I didn't even know that was out.
Yeah, it came out a while ago. Well,
Damn.
we saw that set, and it was hilarious. It was great. But then I watched the special, and it was probably because it was almost exactly the same jokes that we saw. But like it's still like I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me. I mean, so much of it's just the energy in the room, and like, you know, you're at a public place, and like there's kind of social cues to laugh, and like you kind of feel weird if you don't, and a lot of things that aren't really that funny just sitting in my chair, sitting on the couch, are a lot funnier in person. I mean, I want to do stand-up, but I don't like stand-up, really. Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing. I
feel kind of the opposite. Like, I'm a big, like, I would so much rather watch it on Netflix. The only stand-up comedians I've seen live, I think I've only seen Jerry Seinfeld when Jerry Seinfeld came to Pensacola. And I was young. Like, I don't even think I was in college. I think I was in high school. It might have been, like, junior or senior year. And me and my mom went with, like, a friend and her mom. And I'm pretty sure, I'm like racking my brain now because I'm like, I feel like I'm leaving out like a major person. But no, I've never seen Tom Segura. I've never seen, Louis C.K. used to be my favorite comedian. Now my favorite comedian is Ricky Gervais. But yeah, I think Jerry Seinfeld's the only comedian that I've seen live. But I love like stand-up specials. Like I like crack up laughing. Like there's some that are better than others. But like, fuck, I can't talk about Louis C.K. I'm going to stop. I was going to say Louis C.K.'s specials on Netflix are literally my favorite, but I don't want to get canceled for that.
I mean, you're not going to get canceled for that.
Okay, well,
no one cares.
He's already, like, re-entered society, I guess, so, like, it's fine, but pre all of the stuff coming out about Louis C.K., like, Louis C.K.'s Chewed Up special and Hilarious and 2019, like, all 3 of those are solid all the way through. They're funnier than Tom Segura to me, who is, like, up there for me. And then Ricky Gervais Humanity. Like, Ricky Gervais stand-up is so, so funny. But that's only if you're, like, I feel like if I wasn't such a huge Office fan, I wouldn't be like a Ricky stan because he has such like British humor. But I just like love him so much from The Office. I think his specials are hysterical. But it's just interesting that like you're a really funny person and like you tell jokes all the time. Like I never knew that you didn't like watching stand up.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Lean Show. My name's Lee. That's Lean. Okay, fine.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? The thing about it is like I find comedians are way more funny when they do things other than stand up. Like stand up comedians who do things other than stand up when they like make podcasts or they like their Twitter or Instagrams, like their social medias are funny. Like they're funny people, obviously, and I would see them in person because I've only seen like I think Mulaney was the first big stand up I'd ever seen.
True.
In person.
Because
My parents aren't really, yeah, definitely. My parents aren't really into stand up like as far as going and seeing it either. That was just something that I wanted to do because it was like him coming off of rehab and it was like his first tour after, and I knew he would have some set about it. But I find comedians like I really like sketches. I really like sketch comedy, and a lot of sketch comedians also do stand up and do other stuff. But no, I'm not really like. Honestly, I think it's funnier to go watch like a 4 or 5 out of 10 comedian at like an open mic or a stand up. I think I probably get more laughs out of that than watching like a really good one just on my TV or on my phone.
Interesting.
It's all about
That's
live energies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I get that, I guess.
It's just me, cancel me if you want, controversial Lee over here.
Yeah, headline.
Controversially.
It's like funny guy Lee claims, I don't watch stand-up comedy. That would literally be like the headline if we were famous.
Yeah, quote Lee South thinks every stand-up comedian in the world isn't as funny as him. That's the TMZ headline.
Oh my god, I was scrolling through TMZ today. It's funny, before we started this podcast, I don't think I had ever like just Googled TMZ. And now like every other day I'm like, all right, like gotta see what's up, what's trending, and I'll literally just go TMZ. It's so toxic.
I did notice like almost every story you pull, like they're all from TMZ, and I'm like, it's not the stories that are bad. Like the stories are fine, but it's just like TMZ has. I literally don't think they have writers anymore.
Oh my god! I think it's ChatGPT writing the articles.
It's pretty damn close. Like if you read the articles, it's like nonsense. It's to the point where like they don't even expect people to read the article. It's almost like TMZ's like, why the fuck are you reading the article, dumbass? Like, watch this video or read the headline. Why do you need to read the article?
Literally,
they're all like, they have like spelling mistakes and like they're just worded. They're worded like an alien wrote them.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's funny, and I'm like, this podcast has also been my first stab at journalism, so you guys can see where my sources are coming from. As Lee mentioned, every single article that I dropped to talk about today came from TMZ. But sometimes you get some gems, and also sometimes on the very rare occasion TMZ overlaps with real news. Like I found out about the whole cocaine in the White House story.
That's how you found out about that?
Yeah. Actually, I take it back. My dad, we have a family group message, and someone was saying something, I don't even know what we were talking about, and my dad made a joke about there being coke in the White House. Like, just whatever. And I genuinely thought, like, I laughed at it just to be like, oh, like, that's obviously a joke. But I was like, oh, is that some age-old, like, it's like president's secret? You know what I mean? That, like, there's tons of coke in the White House, or, like, it's known that, like, tons of employees in the White House do coke. Like, that's what I thought, like, my dad meant by the joke. Until I got on TMZ, and I saw the news article, and I was like, oh, duh. Like, that makes a lot more sense. Y'all know I don't watch the news. Like, this is my entry point to the news at this point is TMZ.
Yeah, I really can't. I remembered about halfway through what you were just saying, how I found out about it, and it's actually way more embarrassing than finding out on TMZ. I saw a tweet from a sports book that was giving out odds of, like, whose cocaine was it in the White House, and it was, like, Hunter Biden plus 200, and it was like Joe Biden was plus 10,000.
Oh my
Travis
God.
Kelce was like, I think Travis Kelce, because he plays for the Chiefs, and like the Chiefs were at the White House for the Super Bowl ceremony. Like they visited the White House.
Yeah.
So everyone, like, he was like the second favorite. That's actually way more embarrassing.
Oh my God, that's funny. But you know what else I was thinking too is it's like I'm reading the article and they're making like the biggest deal about it, like the Secret Service. And it's like they kept naming it as cocaine, so they obviously tested it and they knew that it was cocaine. So it's not like it's anthrax or like some mysterious white powder that they have to like further investigate. They said it was less than a gram of cocaine. Why is the Secret Service spending so much time like hunting down whoever had this coke? Like that was my like one of my initial thoughts. Like, does the Secret Service not have like better things to do with their time? And I also was like, there's no way that people in the White House aren't doing coke. I'm not saying that everybody in the White House is doing coke, but there's no way that there's not like a couple employees that are doing it, working around the clock for the president.
It's probably more of an Adderall environment, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that's the less cool version of cocaine, I guess.
It's the less cool but more corporate version, I would say.
Corporate minus finance. Everything corporate except finance, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, they probably do both.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna say though, I really don't think, because I don't know if you saw this. I just added it. This came out this morning. I think I added it to our doc, but the Secret Service came out and said, "Yeah, we don't know who did it. There's no suspects."
Right.
So I was gonna combat that and say, like, right. I don't think they care at all. I don't think they care one bit. They said, "Yeah, there's no DNA on the bag." How could that be? How could that possibly be true?
That's not possible. Well, when they said that, I was like, okay, so it's the president's, right? Like that has to be your first thought. They're like, "Oh shit, it's Joe's." Like, all right, guys, shut down the story. We don't know. There's no DNA.
I mean, you know whose it is.
Who? Condoleezza? I mean, not Condoleezza. Holy shit, you have to cut that.
Yeah, Condoleezza. I'm not cutting that. Absolutely not. Dude. Who's the vice president of the United States, Kathleen?
Kamala Harris. No. I have a defense for this before everyone judges me and jumps down my throat. I have been rewatching 30 Rock, and Alec Baldwin's character is dating Condoleezza Rice while she's in office. And that's why that name was at the forefront of my brain.
Is he really?
Yeah, he literally, it's like, and he makes like a bunch of jokes about it. He's like, I'm texting my girlfriend, Condoleezza Rice, and he always says like her full name. I'm sorry, I meant Kamala. Are you saying that you think it's Kamala's?
No, it's Hunter's.
Who is Hunter? I don't know Hunter.
Oh my God, Kathleen. Hunter Biden?
I literally have never heard that name. Swear to God.
Oh.
Fill me in.
Well, I don't.
Where do we start?
We could spend an hour on Hunter Biden if you really want to.
I swear I've never heard that name in my life. I've never heard the name Hunter Biden.
I just don't know how that's possible. I don't know how. I understand. Like, okay, I get a big part of it's Twitter.
Yeah,
like Twitter has poisoned a specific part of my brain that like cements like these people as like being way. Not that he's not important. He's the president's son, but like, he is just talked about so often. He's joked about so often that I guess I lose track with like what people do or don't know about. Okay,
sure.
Well, okay. Pull your phone out and get your timer out.
That's right.
I'm gonna give you my best 30-second summary of Hunter Biden. Okay.
Yeah. Go.
30 seconds. Okay. So in October of 2020, he dropped off his laptop at a New Hampshire laptop repair service and said, "Hey, I need my laptop fixed." And then he left and never got it back. They fixed it, and then they went through the laptop, and they found all these videos of him with prostitutes and smoking crack and all this crazy stuff. And then that came out, and and then like the New York Post wrote an article about it, and then Twitter thought it was fake, and so they like suppressed the article and like deleted tweets about it, and then it came out to be true. Whatever. No political stance. And he's an artist. He recently he does like paintings and stuff, and like recently in New York he like sold one of his paintings for like I don't know if he sold it. It was going for like $40,000-$50,000.
Oh wow.
He's like a painting guy, but also he was in rehab for a long time, and I think for a long time, especially after the laptop stuff, the Biden family essentially was like, "All right, dude, we're gonna put you in this house in Malibu, and you're not gonna talk to anyone, and you're gonna make art or do whatever you want to do, but you're not in the public space."
Yeah.
So for the last for the last 2-ish years probably while Biden's been president, he doesn't really make public appearances, probably for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But whenever he does, it's like a big thing. And there was like probably maybe doctored, maybe just wrong angles or whatever. But and I don't know. I think this is 4th of July or something.
Okay.
When they found the coke.
Yeah.
The Biden family was doing some. I'm probably past 30 seconds, but I'm gonna finish.
No,
the
you
point.
are. It's okay.
Okay. The Biden family like had this celebration. I think it was for 4th of July at the White House, and there's a video of Hunter like walking by the camera, and he's like right behind someone, and clearly doesn't do blow because it's just not enough time to do it unless
Right.
he's just the pro's pro. This is just, and it gets it done. But like he walks by, and all these people on Twitter were like, "Oh my God, he's doing it out in the open. Look, it's obviously his." It's like
Right.
probably not. It probably is his, but he's probably not doing it out on the balcony of the White
No,
House with a
no,
million
no,
cameras
no.
around.
Yeah,
It's not
that
that
would be
dumb.
super stupid. Interesting.
Well, there's-
Okay. So
You
that
didn't
makes sense.
know that?
No, I really didn't know that. I didn't know that he existed, and I had never heard of the laptop story.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It is wild.
But
I live under a
I
rock,
guess-
clearly. No, I just have like selective.
you live under 30 Rock.
Yeah, no, I watched The Office so much, I was like, I gotta freaking take a break for my health, and so I switched back to 30 Rock. But what I was gonna say was, shit, I lost my train of thought. I had a good thought. Damn, I had a really good thought. What were we just talking about? It's crazy how quick it's.
The White House
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
No evidence.
Oh. It's not even important. I was just saying that I live under a rock, and so I was like, I have like selective like knowledge, and like I get like selective news. Like I only get news about things that I want to know about. Like I don't just like get news. Like I don't have Twitter, you know what I mean? Like I don't just Google news unless we're preparing for the podcast, and then I literally get on TMZ, obviously my only source. And like TikTok, I guess sometimes gives you news, but at the same time, like the chronological thing in TikTok, like I'm like looking at this story and I'm telling my boyfriend Sam, and he's like, that happened 6 months ago. You know what I mean? So
that
I'm just
really
all over
does
the
make
place.
sense. That really does make sense why you sent me that video of like the Anheuser-Busch CEO on CBS this morning from like June 30th. And he's like, what is he talking about? What's going on? And it was like July 9th. And I'm like, well, first off, it doesn't matter really anymore.
I'm like, it's
But
a fresh
second off,
story.
like you don't know what's going. I mean, it's probably better. So listen,
Yeah.
some of these things, it
I
is
like living
objectively
under a
better
rock.
for you not to know this is going on because
Right.
it's ridiculous. It's like culture war shit that just does not matter at all.
Exactly.
I find it interesting. I mean, like you said, this is your first attempt in journalism.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to be a journalist for a really long time,
No,
and
I
I
know.
don't necessarily anymore. But like, I still have that part of me that's like, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to be able to like explain a story to someone in a way that's like true and not just like you read half an article and it was a little misleading and like, that's just
you're
like
very
what I like to
informed.
do.
You're very informed, and you always tell stories in a good way, and I also feel like you focus on the facts, like you said. Like,
Because the thing is, there's really no like most of the time the facts are so insane it's like the Hunter Biden stuff, like that's all true. There's no like there's some parts of like there's conspiracy stuff about it. Obviously, there's stuff that's like pretty out there, even more out there than what I already said.
yeah.
But like just focus on like the truth. Like what's actually true is this guy, the president's son, dropped off. I don't think he was the president's son yet. I think it was right before the 2020 election. I want to say it was October 2020. But like, what an idiot! He dropped off a laptop with like possibly classified information just to like a random laptop repair shop, and then never got it back.
Yeah.
So the guy was just sitting there with this laptop. Like, what am I supposed to do with it?
Okay.
Well, do you want to talk about something that you are informed in? Would you like to talk about the Fish Summer Tour?
Yes, I'm literally dying. I was gonna say, can we do that next? Yes, finally. Oh shit, where'd you go? Hold up. Okay, there you are. Yes, finally. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. So some of you might know this, some of you may not know this, but I am a huge Fish fan. Me, my boyfriend, and a couple of my close friends have been seeing them for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. I've seen them 7 times. About to go on 10 after this weekend, about to go on 13 after I see them in Chicago in October. But long story short, their summer tour just started, so their first show was Tuesday night. It was fire. Their second show was Wednesday night. There's a break. And then me, my boyfriend, and 2 of our other close friends are going to see them 3 times this weekend in Alpharetta. So if anybody is going, my fans out there with a PH, comment on this or reach out and I will connect with you, because Fish fans always find each other, and I'm going to tell a story of literally what happened to me yesterday.
Before you do that, can you just explain Fish
Yes,
briefly to
thank
people
you.
who don't?
See, this is why I need my notes, because I can't remember shit.
Because truthfully, I had never heard of him until this phenomenon.
Yeah,
3-4 years ago.
I hadn't
probably
either.
4 years ago.
I hadn't either. One of our, and when I say like one of my close friends, it's like basically one of Lee's close friends too. So just so you guys know, like we have a very close knit friend group from home, which is Pensacola,
The guy who
Florida.
plays in Glazed Eyes.
Yeah,
the
he plays in
intro, outro to
he's a band member of Glazed Eyes. Also, we've been told that we never introduced ourselves, so we're from Pensacola, Florida. I don't know if any of you guys know where that is. It's in the Panhandle. It's a super gorgeous beach town, but I'm Lee, he's Leen. We're from Pensacola. I guess people wanted to know that. Anyway, so Fish. They are basically a jam band. I would say Grateful Dead adjacent. Some people will absolutely come for me because there are deadheads that say don't ever compare the Grateful Dead to Fish. I like both. I wrote my thesis on the Grateful Dead, and I'm also a huge Fish fan, so I feel like I kind of know what I'm talking about for the most part. But long story short, think Grateful Dead, but like a different iteration, if that even makes sense. Like they have the same sort of cult following that the Grateful Dead has, where there's tons and tons and tons of fans that travel the world with them, essentially, that go to every single show on tour. So it's the same sort of cult following that the Grateful Dead had, or has still, I guess, if you consider Dead and Company. But yeah, long story short, it's just a really fun group. It's a jam band scene. It's just a really awesome place to be. And it's Wook City, so if you know what that word means, or if you're a music festival goer, it's definitely a place where you can see tons of Wooks and just have really fun experiences. So shout out to all my Fish fans out there. Follow us, because I'll be giving some updates as we go through summer tour, because there's always some funny stories that happen. But yeah, that's basically what they are. Was that good enough, Lee?
Yeah, that was great.
All right, cool.
This is really your wheelhouse, not really mine.
You've seen them once.
It's not. Yeah, not really my thing, but
dude, you were having a good time.
I mean,
were you
like,
faking
we
it?
can talk about it. No, I wasn't faking it. You can talk about it if we want, but like, one of the things they do is, it's like you said, they're a jam band. It's part of like it's all one song. That's like what people say about Dead, the Grateful Dead.
Sure.
It's pretty true about Fish as well. They just kind of like the songs. How many songs are in a typical set? I know a set's about an hour and a half. Would you say like 12?
It
12
depends.
songs?
I mean, it depends. I would say more like 8 to 10. Sometimes like 6 if they do them really long. Just depends.
Yeah. So so for the mathematicians
even
out there,
eight's
you
a
can
lot
kind of
now that
figure
I'm
out.
saying it, honestly.
Yeah. So look, the shows are. I mean, they've been doing it for 25 plus years, more than that. What they and like you said, so his name's Jake. Shout out Jake.
Hey,
He
Jake.
was kind of like right next to me when we saw him. We saw him in Orange Beach, Alabama, and I got like a very cheap ticket last minute. And it's not that I'm really a fan of the music, 'cause I'm kind of not really, but it was more of an experience of being able to go with my friends, and
Absolutely.
like it's better than just sitting at my house on it was a Sunday night, I think,
Yeah.
or Monday, something.
It was a Sunday. Sunday
I
fun
think
day.
it was because it was Memorial Day weekend. I remember.
Yeah.
But so it's an hour and a half, 2 sets. I think my thing is the lights they do are very cool. They got a lighting guy. What's his name? I know you know his name.
I
The lighting
actually
guy.
don't know his name. I don't. If I
Whoever
heard
it
it,
is.
yeah. If I heard
But-
it, I would know it, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
There's like one guy who's been doing their lights for like 30 years.
And he also
and-
does Justin Bieber's lights.
Yeah. So he's like very good at knowing what the band's about to play and syncing up the lights with the band and like dimming and flashing in rhythm, and it's all very impressive. It's all very on the fly. And one thing Jake always talks about is how they're basically all like musical geniuses.
They
They all don't really have a set list planned, but what they do, and I think this is actually kind of cool, is like Trey Anastasio is the lead.
Anastasia.
He has like close enough.
Close enough.
He has a foot pedal, and like he signals. They have a set list, but it's not set. It's just like a list of songs. And so whenever, like on the fly, they'll be like 10 minutes into one song, and they'll be like, all right, let's transition into this one. And he'll like hit on his foot pedal, signal to the rest of the band, like, all right, we're playing this song.
Yeah.
And they don't really know what they're playing next until he presses that. And so all the shows are different, a lot like Dead songs or Dead shows.
Very different, yeah.
But for me, all of that, like the most enjoyment I could get out of it, except for not just listening to the music, lasted about the first set and about a minute and a half into the second set.
Wait, dude, you can finish your thought, but can you tell the story of what happened to you? Or no, you're not going to tell that
Yeah,
story.
no, I'll tell. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's
You
fine.
tell
No,
that?
it's
Okay,
funny.
and then when we're done
Yeah.
with this, remind me to circle back to the weird thing I did to the fish fan in my apartment. But you go, keep talking about your fish experience, because you're going to be more relatable than me, because I'm obsessed with them. So I'm interested in hearing your perspective on them.
Yeah, I just kind of like about probably a minute and a half into the second set, it really set in that there's another hour and a half of this, and I was like, okay, wow, this is a lot.
Damn.
And I truly, it's just like I got as much enjoyment, and I got a decent amount of enjoyment. I'm not saying I had a bad time at all.
Right.
But being at a concert where you don't really love the music can only take you so far.
Yeah.
And the fact that it took me that far is kind of impressive on its own. But eventually, like, the lights stopped being as cool because they were kind of just doing the same things over and over again, which is fine. It's still cool. I'm not saying it's not.
Right.
But it is kind of like, yeah, you know, they dim down at certain points and they light up at certain points. And then there's, like, a part where they all play, like, fucking loud-ass chords. And they always, doom, 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 like, the lights shine different. I don't know. It's kind of like the same over and over again. And I'm sure Jake's getting very triggered listening to this. Fine. I don't, you know, whatever.
Yeah, Jake's freaking
But,
out.
like, it's just, if you don't really, I didn't really get much out of the music itself. All the lyrics are very heady. They're all like,
well, the lyrics,
child
yeah,
in the
dude,
star
the lyrics.
falls down the fill.
Dude,
Like, I
yeah,
don't
the
know.
lyrics. No, you're absolutely right. I would never argue with anybody about Fish lyrics. Fish Grateful Dead lyrics are like poetry, lyrical, beautiful, wonderful, very, very well thought out. You listen to a Grateful Dead song and you hear the lyrics and you actually like connect to it and you like have an experience and are moved by it. That's a lot harder with Fish because, in my opinion, a lot of their lyrics are really arbitrary. Like, heady, yes, but also, like, straight up arbitrary. But every now and then, like, there'll be a line that I'm like, oh, yeah, like, that hits. Like, one of their songs is called Bug, and they played this at Dick's when we stayed with Helen out in Colorado. And he says, like, concepts, he's like, sometimes I go out and wander, concepts I ponder, and it's like, something, fuck, I need to, hang on. I'm going to start this takeover. Hang on. Because this is actually good. LOL, they're so, like, not as popular as I thought they were. When I literally looked up the name of the song and lyrics, it wasn't even the first thing that came up.
You typed in the word bug and you thought the first result would be the Fish song?
No, dude, I typed in bug lyrics and it wasn't the first thing that showed up. Anyway, so yes, Fish's lyrics are very arbitrary. If you listen to any of their songs, like that was the first thing that I noticed when I started listening to them, is I was like, seriously, what are these lyrics? But then every now and then they'll get you with this. So this is their song Bug, and I freaking love it. This is my favorite line. He says, there have been times that I wander and times that I don't. Concepts I'll ponder and concepts I won't ever see. God isn't one of these, former or latter. And it's like just kind of like a little like atheist kind of teaser almost.
Sure.
Like he's like,
yeah.
there's concepts I ponder and concepts I don't. Like, but either way, God's not one of these. And like, I freaking love that. Like, I don't know why, like that resonates with me. Like that, every time I hear it, like that like hits me. People are like, oh, Kathleen's an atheist. I'm not an atheist.
It's giving hippie atheist.
No, I am giving hippie atheist right now, but there's just something about that line that just hits me. But go back to tell our sweet listeners today about what happened to you at your first Fish show. If you're comfortable, I don't want to trigger you.
Oh, not at all. I'm totally comfortable.
All right,
so the thing about the one thing about the Fish experience that I don't think I really got in Orange Beach that I would like to get is I'm really interested in talking to people who are like way different than me, because usually I think most of the time if you just talk to someone like a normal person, especially like I would imagine like a deadhead or a fish head,
Yeah.
like they'll get to talking really easily, and they'll say like the channel 5 video about fish where like he just literally he's like, hey, what's on your mind? That's all Andrew says.
Yeah.
And they just say the craziest shit you've ever heard in your life.
Oh yeah. They
Like
do.
I would love to just talk to a few of those people if they're coherent enough to know what's going on. I would love that. And one thing about the fish and I'm kind of rambling, but the fish experience that I didn't get is we saw him in Orange Beach, Alabama, yeah. But I think it was like the local police department were like, yeah, you can't have a lot. Didn't they say that?
Yeah, they
Where
did.
they're like, we'll arrest you, like, because they didn't
did.
want a big part of the fish experience. You can agree or disagree with this, but like a big part of it is there's like a communal lot that's very like, hey man, like we don't need money, we don't need the government, like we've all got what we need right here. And there's like some guy with hair touching his butt that's selling grilled cheeses for $1.50, but then you can just like give him $1. You can just give him $1 and he'll just give you it anyway. Like it's
all bartering. All bartering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I went to like buy a t-shirt and and I was like, how much? And he was like $30, and I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, but if your boyfriend buys one, I'll give you one for free. And I was like, all right, sick. And so Sam bought one, then he just gave me mine for free. And I was like, cool, man. Like, there's no logic in the fish flat. Like, absolutely no logic. Sun stuff's free.
Yeah,
like, and then you have, my favorite part is you have, when we were in, and okay, I'm going to tell this story, you're going to tell your story, then I'm going to tell my other story about the apartment, and then we're going to shut up about fish, because otherwise it's going to be the whole entire episode. But when we were in Denver, staying with Helen, one of our other best friends, we were walking around the lot, and there was this guy. It was hysterical. He would just come up right behind you, but so slow and cat-like that, like, you didn't really hear him, and he would just go, mushrooms? Coke? Ketamine?
Mm-hmm.
Mushrooms? And it was, like, literally, like, and I was like, did I just hear something? I'm, like, looking behind me, and it's just, like, this guy, like, as soft-spoken, and if you don't react, like, he just keeps moving. Like, he just keeps moving. He's just canvassing the whole crowd, but literally, it was so funny, like, just a whisper. Mushrooms?
Yeah, that's funny. But anyway, so yeah, I don't want to. People are gonna go crazy. Like we're about to tell 4 fucking stories at the same time.
Yeah,
and
no.
Never get to any of them.
I'm not gonna tell.
Let me just say.
You tell your
fine,
story.
just before I forget this.
And I'm not gonna tell my story about the guy in the apartment. It's not that interesting.
All right. Well, so yes, like the fish crowd at the Orange Beach show is a little less crazy, I should say, like a little more formal, a little more
Tamed.
of like a normal concert. Yeah, a little more tame. It's like it wasn't Wook City. It's not like insane. There's not like just crazy stuff happening. It was like a very normal like concert beginning, opening, outside the area, whatever.
It was.
But that doesn't mean that there's still not some very interesting people inside the building. So this is what happened. So this is my story. This is like during the second set, I want to say, and 2 of my friends walked down from our seats to the beer cart to get a beer. And I walked down there because, again, I was not like super locked into the show. They're going to go. I'm like, all right, fine, we'll go. So I'm not even in line. I'm standing right outside the line, and they're getting a beer. And I just feel I don't know what I felt first. Well, I know what I felt first. So like immediately I'm just standing there, and in like a split second, I just feel like you get like your hands like this, and some guy just went goose like right up my butt crack. He just goes goose. And I'm like, we're at a fish show, not goose. Nice try though. And I look back, and then like
God.
I'm not the aggressive type. Like I find humor in most things. I'm not gonna beat the fuck out of this guy because he did that. I just think it's funny.
It is funny.
So I turn around. I just look at him like, what? I didn't even say anything. I just turn around like,
you're speechless
what?
after getting assaulted.
Yeah,
Oh
I just
my
turn
God.
around like, what? And he looks at me, and his eyes get really wide. He's like, oh, and just does. That's all. Like didn't even say a word. He was just like, oh. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna step out of line. Let me get out of line. And that's not where the story ends either. This part might be as funny too.
I'm
My
like
two
crying
friends are in
tears.
line. Yeah, so my two friends are in line. They buy a beer, and I think like one of them bought it, and then the other one was like just finishing up or grabbing something or whatever. And the guy who goosed me was behind them in line. So they get their beer. We're about to walk away, but we're standing there just for a second. I don't remember why. And the guy walks up and he's like, "Let me get 7 beers." And the woman or whoever
She's
was
like,
running
you
the beer.
can't. She's like, you
She's
can't
like, you
fucking do
need-
that.
No, she was like, "You need like 7 IDs or something." And this guy taps me on my shoulder and goes, "Bro, give me your ID." He goes, "Bro, give me your ID." And it's like right in front of her. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what's the goal? And again, that's where I really understood kind of a little bit like the average Fish fan.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably y'all are a little more like the little more tidied up, like a little less insane Fish fan.
Yeah.
But
we're
that's
pretty
more of
tame.
a look of the average one.
Yeah.
Like a guy, and I don't know what he was on. I don't know where he was.
Could have been stone cold sober. You never know with those guys. Bet he was stone cold sober.
He was trying to buy 7 beers, so he was probably drunk at least.
Right. Good point.
But just like in no other place in society would that interaction play out in that exact way. Like there's almost this expectation of like, you know, it's very communal. It's very like, oh, we're all here just for the love of the music, man, and just we're all here together to celebrate this thing, right?
Yeah.
And so for him, it's probably not even a big deal that he goosed me. He's probably like, that guy's gonna think that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, I just made that guy's
He
day.
probably just one ear out the other. Probably just totally forgot that happened. And then in his head, it immediately resets, and then he's like, well, shit, I need an ID. Well, I got a couple of guys right here. Like, we're all in this together.
Let me ask
So
Goose.
let me ask my boy.
Yeah, my boy Goose right there.
Hey, yo, Goose, give me your ID.
Oh my
Like,
god,
what are we in-
I kind of wish your
what am I in,
nickname
Top
was
Gun?
Goose.
Like-
And it would be funny because of your like whole like Goose, you know, your Goose joke in our friend group.
That's the joke, isn't it?
Isn't
That I
the,
get-
the joke is just like I think
We're at a
I
fish show. It's not Goose.
right, that was the joke, but I thought that the joke in our friend group was like that you fake like Goose.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah,
like
yeah,
our
yeah.
yeah.
No, I do. Yeah.
Because I was like, if
Yeah.
that were your nickname, like it would make double sense. Like one, you got Goose at Fish, and 2, like you have that Goose, that running Goose joke, like in our group where you pretend to like the band Goose. Guys, we're gonna shut the fuck up about this. Goose is another jam band, in case you're wondering. That's where all the overlap is. But yeah, so I'm going to Fish this weekend. It's been the last time I saw them was September in Colorado, so it's been almost an entire year. I'm super stoked, and I know there's a huge Fish Talk community, #Fish Talk, so give us a follow, because I'll be giving updates, and check out my personal TikTok. I've got some Fish Talks on there as well, and comment if you're going to be in Alpharetta, and let's meet up.
Yeah, and if there's any debate experts or any attorneys in the Fish community or anyone who can give me a sound argument against anything that I said, please do. I'd love to hear it. I would expect probably most of y'all to just go, you just don't get it, man. And that's a totally acceptable answer. That's fine. I'm not asking. I'm an arguer because that's just who I am. But, like, don't feel like you shouldn't like something because I don't like it and I have reasons for not liking it. I don't
like
really
Drake.
care. Yeah, that's fine. You didn't know who Hunter Biden was 30 minutes ago. No one's perfect.
Yeah. Just kidding. No, not kidding. I hate Drake. Everyone knows that about me. Except my 2 exceptions, me and Sam hunted it down. Feel No Ways and Nice for What are the 2 songs that I freaking blast. Everything else Drake I hate though.
I don't think I know Feel No Ways.
Yeah, you do.
What is that?
It's there's more to life than waking up and getting high with you. I had to take a break from us to show myself what I could do.
I just played it on my Spotify.
Feel away on purpose. Yeah. And then the other one is like, nice for what? I can't finish it.
Nice for what to who?
No idea, man. It's weird. When I
No,
when I
like-
play the song, it gets to that part and my ears just turn off.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's so weird. I don't know how the rest of the lyric
Isn't that
goes.
weird?
It's so weird.
And then it like locks right back
Yeah,
in
it locks
immediately
right back.
after
Yeah,
that.
it's literally like a 2-second delay, and the song just cuts out, and then it goes back.
It's like
No
gotta be
idea.
nice for what to
No idea.
like static,
Yeah.
like static plays,
Yeah.
and then it just comes right back. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Some of those songs.
Well, if you don't want to talk about Fish, we can talk about Taylor Swift becoming a billionaire. You
Yeah,
wanna do that?
let's do it. I had a couple of things I want to talk about. So I saw this, obviously, you guys already know my news sources are basically TikTok and TMZ. So I saw TikTok that her tour is after, like, she's done with the European tour, like, total grosses are going to be, like, over $1 billion. So that made me wonder, number one, is that going to make her officially a billionaire on the billionaires list? Number two, are there any singers, songwriters that are billionaires right now, and is she going to be the first? Number three, are there any female billionaires right now outside of like the Kardashians and like the Rockefellers and people like that? So those are my questions.
Yeah, there's a ton. Yeah, there's a lot of female billionaires.
Oh, okay. Who?
Yeah. Alice Walton,
No
the
idea
chick
who
who
that
runs
is.
Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Okay. Well, I mean, are they? Okay, obviously the Walmart one's a businesswoman. Okay, I take back that question. Is she going to be the first singer-songwriter that's a billionaire?
No.
Okay, well, who?
Kanye.
Kanye's a billionaire?
Multi. Yeah.
I thought he was
Jay-Z.
broke. When did Kanye not get broke anymore?
He. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess it's not fully clear how much money he has right now because the Adidas deal's gone. But Yeezy was, as of like basically before all that happened, Yeezy was valued at like multiple billions of dollars.
True. I mean, yeah. Well, damn. Okay, so then going back, are there any female? Is she going to be the first female artist billionaire? No? If all the answers to these questions are no, then this just totally isn't a big deal at all. I don't know why I thought it was going to be like
No,
groundbreaking.
listen, it is a big deal because this is probably the most. I think I pulled up the Forbes article. Well, no, that's not Forbes. That's the list of female billionaires. That wasn't off the top of my head, by the way. I looked that up.
Oh,
There's a lot of them. I knew there's a few. Also, you probably don't know who the Koch brothers are, do you?
No.
Koch. All right. Well, they have I think one of their daughters is worth $59 billion. Wow. We don't have to get into that. But they're not great people. Anyway, no, so I think right now I have a list right here of like the 10 most successful or the 10 most highest grossing tours is this music history or is this like recently this article? Highest grossing concept tours. I guess all the top ones would be recent because like, you know, money goes up over time. Funny enough, did you know that Ed Sheeran's tour from 17 to 19 is the second highest grossing tour in music history?
No, I didn't know that, but like why
That's
why
insane.
does that not surprise me for some reason? Like I feel
It doesn't
like
really
he has a
surprise me.
huge
It's just
following.
insane.
Yeah. And I also wonder if it's because One Direction was not right? Like isn't that the same around the same time that One Direction kind of stopped? And so like a lot of their fans like went to Ed Sheeran, or maybe I'm just making that up, but
I don't know when they broke up. This was 17 to 19, this tour.
okay.
So I think they broke up before that.
Wow.
But anyway, that's insane to me. Like,
No, it is.
insane. But yeah, so this tour, it's probably going to gross over $1 billion after the international part of it. And I think it's really, I don't know how, like, I think the net worth of $1 billion is like, it's so like impossible to actually gauge how much money someone has, or net worth is like you add their investments or like add their
I think net
portfolios
worth is
to it.
liquid assets, right?
No, it's everything.
Oh, okay. I know nothing. Do you want to keep talking about that, or do you want to talk about Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I just had one more quick point about Taylor
Yeah, go
Swift,
for it.
about the tour.
Go for it.
I was just going to say, I think, like, not really in my wheelhouse, like the Taylor Swift, like, but I understand what she's doing with the Eras Tour.
Yeah.
And I'm not, it's probably not, she's probably not the first one to do it, but I really love the idea of like using all of someone's albums and like combining them all into one tour. So like it doesn't matter if you don't like the new music or don't like the old music. There's something for you no matter what you are looking for.
Yeah.
And so I think so many artists are going to steal this.
Oh, for sure. I think she's the first person that
this.
I was thinking about that the other day. I think she's the first person that's ever really done something like this. Like, you know, and specifically made a point to where every single show she plays stuff from every single era. And then it's also just like the brilliant plan of then combining it with her PR strategy of re-releasing like the albums Taylor's version. Like she's releasing them while she's on tour. So there's just so much publicity around it. Like it's just absolutely genius. But I've always said that Taylor Swift and her team are some of the smartest business people in the world. Like, and nobody can debate that. Even if you hate Taylor Swift, literally nobody can debate that their business strategy from the beginning like is so strong. And like, yeah, people hate on her in the news and people hate on her in the tabloids, but she never ever ever responds or comments. Like she just stays, like she takes the high road every single time. And like I can't imagine how hard that is when your life is just out in the open like hers is, and criticized like the way that hers is.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I could just see like, you know, take your favorite artist, take I mean like Beyonce. I don't know. Take like Beyonce. Like if she stole this idea, then she would probably also do maybe not a billion, because like I don't know. So this is the other thing I was thinking of is Taylor Swift had to sell out 52 stadiums in America. Actually, that might include the foreign tour, the foreign leg of it. No, that's all America. And she's playing like NFL stadiums and selling them out for like 4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And she's still, I don't know how much over a billion she's doing, but it's like they're saying it's going to be like about a billion. So the bar to get a billion must be like absolutely insane for one tour.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely insane.
I think they said her merch alone made like 2 or 3 million.
Yeah, I could totally see it.
Okay, I wanted to introduce this to you. I wanted to talk to you about the Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian rumors. Have you heard them? Do you believe them? What are your thoughts?
I have heard them. I do you watch the Kardashians, like the show?
Yes, but I'm like only when I can remember. Like every couple of weeks me and Sam sit down and we're like, "Oh yeah, like the Kardashians comes on," and like we'll like watch like 3 episodes in a row. I don't watch it religiously.
Okay, so have you watched like I've seen like the clip, and this mainly like the only reason why I've seen this is like it's kind of crossover with the sporting world because people were tweeting about it in the sporting world. But there's a clip where she's like texting this guy and they're calling him Fred, and they're like trying to like, oh my god, we gotta hook her up with Fred, and they're like, who is he? Like, is he whatever they say? They're like, is he an A-lister? Is he high class or something? And she's like, oh yeah. Something like that. Something super, you know.
So people are sus. It's
weird like that.
And then I guess they were seen like frolicking together at the white party or something. Like what started the rumors? Like who broke this story? Like I know I found out because I saw Dave Portnoy's rant about it. But it's hard for me because I've been scarred from the whole Pete Davidson stuff. And Lee, I don't know if you remember me talking about this. I may have only talked about it to Sam, but I was like, there is absolutely no way. When I started hearing the rumors that Kim Kardashian was dating Pete Davidson, now listen, I believed that they were hanging out and possibly, you know, hooking up or, you know, dating casually. I was so adamant that they would never step out together. Like, actually step out as a couple. Because when you're someone like Kim Kardashian, like, you could date around and hang out with different guys, but, like, if you're gonna have a boyfriend and the public sees it, like you have to like step out with them, like post with them, get pictures taken, you know how it goes when you're a celebrity. And I told everyone, I was like, there's literally no way that Kimberly West Kardashian is literally going to step out in the public and publicly date Pete Davidson. And what happened, guys? What happened? 9 months. It might have been 7, but they dated for like 7 or 9 months, and I literally couldn't believe it. So now with the Tom Brady stuff, I want to be the same way. I want to be like, there's literally no way. Except it's different this time. With Kim and Pete, I was like, there's no way that Kim is going to step out with Pete. Now I'm saying there's no way that Tom Brady is going to step out with Kim. Agree, disagree?
Oh, he will. No, completely disagree.
Oh
Tom
my
is...
God.
So here's the thing
Poor
about Tom.
Giselle. Kim has nothing on Giselle, though.
I mean, she's got more money. That's about it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, the thing about Tom is, and I guess I'm like making an assumption here because we've never known a Tom Brady that wasn't also actually playing NFL football for like 8 or 9 months out of the year. So he was in the, he's still doing celebrity stuff. He's still, an A-lister, quote unquote. But this is the first year where he's actually retired, where he actually does not have a full-time obligation to be an NFL player, which is a huge obligation. Basically, from late July until, and he would be in the playoffs and be in the Super Bowl most of the time. So from like late July until mid-February, more often than not, he's in sports mode, right? NFL players, they have like a vacation time. They have like 2 or 3 times throughout the year where they don't have stuff to do. But outside of those times, like it's usually a big problem if they're not like doing sports stuff and only being seen by the media talking to like sports reporters. But This is the first off season where Tom Brady doesn't have to do that. And so this is my guess is I think he is undervaluing how much he loves attention and loves the clout and the idea of like cameras on him, Hollywood. Oh my God, is that Tom Brady? Look at this. And my assumption comes from all the plastic surgery he's got done. Why would you do that if you don't really care about that stuff? If you're not not materialistic, but if you're not like very concerned with your public image and very concerned with the people you associate with and you want to play this game, this Hollywood game, it doesn't really make sense why you would have all this plastic surgery and not do that and like have this crazy diet, the TB12 diet is what he always talks about. He's like, I don't eat tomatoes. That's how my jaw completely changed shapes in 10 years. All right? Yeah. I eat avocados for every meal every day. That's why I look like I'm 27 and I'm 46. I think he's 45.
So you think they're going to step out together or what?
I don't know. It would make sense for him. I mean, I could see them having like a little like, picture this, right? Picture like 2 months from now, like they're still kind of like little back and forth, whatever, but like NFL Sunday. And that morning, like a picture of Tom and Kim at like Craig's in LA comes out. And like that's all people are talking about, like on like an NFL Sunday. And so it's like, oh, well, instead of him getting the cameras from playing for the NFL, playing for whoever, he's getting it through the tabloids. He's getting it through the entertainment media machine. That's what I think is going to happen. I think he loves this stuff. Okay. And the thing is, and I think this is another point that I just thought of to further my guess. But Tom Brady signed. Let me pull this up really quick. I can find it in like 2 seconds. Okay, so So you know how like he retired 2 years ago, and then he unretired and then played another season and then retired again. Okay.
Yes, I do know that.
So when he retired the first time. He signed this in about a year ago in May of 22 when he thought he was not coming back. So when he retired the first time,
right?
He signed a deal with Fox Sports to be like their lead play-by-play commentator.
Okay.
Like there's the 2 guys who announce NFL games. There's a play-by-play guy and a color commentator.
Yes.
Color commentators usually, play-by-play guys like me, right? No athletic ability. just a nerd who like watches sports and like understands what's going on and like has a weird memory where I remember a million players' names and stuff. And then an athlete who's way cooler, not as good on the mic, but close, for a good one.
Yeah.
But they actually understand the game and they explain it. Well, Tom Brady signed a contract to be like the lead color commentator for Fox Sports in May of 22. Right. And the deal was 10 years, $375 million.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
He doesn't even need that, though. That's the crazy thing. Like, he doesn't even need that. Like, so is he going to do that now?
No, so here's the point. Is he signed that in May of 22, then he came back, so the deal got delayed a year. He's already said that he's not going to be the announcer this year because they've already figured that out months ago. Because, like, if they were going to bring him in, he doesn't have any actual experience doing it, so he's got to be training. He'd be meeting with Fox Sports people. He'd be like doing all this stuff, all this research. He's not doing any of that, so he's not doing this deal for another year. Okay. So what that tells me even more is, and actually, I don't know if you know this, he bought a minority stake in the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, I didn't know that. Is that a football team?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Raiders. Yeah.
Just making sure.
They play in the Vegas in Allegiant Stadium.
Oh.
They were in Oakland and they moved to Las Vegas.
Okay.
So he's like a minority owner in the team. So that's like some optics, some camera stuff, but not really like a ton unless he like decides to play, which might happen, maybe, I don't know, probably not. But point being, he's not doing the color commentary thing. If he would, that would be his job. And that would be his, like, not nearly as intense as an NFL quarterback job, but, like, close to it, right? It's something. But he's not doing that. And presumably, he's going to be in Vegas for Raiders home games from, like, September through January.
Wow.
What major city is about a 3-hour drive or about a 30-minute PJ ride from Las Vegas? Take a guess.
Is it Los Angeles?
That would be Los Angeles, California, correct.
Beautiful.
I think it's like a 45-minute flight. It's like Pensacola to Atlanta. It's like right there.
Yeah. And even faster on Kim K's airline.
Oh,
sorry, you guys. I'm looking at this glare right here.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've compiled some evidence here to suggest my thesis, I guess, would be he's going to look for like any and every opportunity to get that newly designed face out there. I think he's not the guy who's just going to go, you know what, I've made so much money in my career. I just want to like live in South Florida or live in LA or wherever and just raise my kids and hang out with, various women because he's divorced, So he's just going to like do what he does. He's not that that's not really who he is. Yeah. He's, he's an incredibly competitive person, but he's also someone who loves the idea of everyone thinking he's the man. And what's a better way in Hollywood than everyone thinking you're the man than dating Kim Kardashian?
No, that's a great point. Great point. I mean, I love Kim. Don't get me wrong. Like, I stand Kim. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's she's great. She's a great gal. I just think that her relationships have been deemed to ruin men, which I shouldn't even care about the men. You know what I mean? I should be supporting Kim K in this, but Yeah,
that's one way to put it. Yeah.
I just feel like it's hard when it's someone like Kim Kardashian who she's so good at what she does and she's so strict and she's so regimented and she has so much going on. Like, I don't know. I think there's just too much control over all of her relationships. And I guess that was the point, like, Dave Portnoy was kind of trying to make. Like, not that I think that Dave Portnoy's opinion is, like, the correct opinion, but, whenever you're dealing with any of the Kardashians, you're also dealing with Kris. Like, there's no situation where you're dating a Kardashian and Kris Jenner isn't involved in some way. Like, their lives are so intertangled with their business. Like, I think that's what causes, like, the doom, if I had to guess, in a lot of the relationships, is it's like, hey, like, yeah, we can date and we can try to be normal, but, like, you have to be okay with X, Y, and Z. And it's like most people aren't going to be okay with that because they don't want to be on a reality TV show.
Yeah, and I think like the thing with Dave mostly is he's like doing that from a perspective of Tom's my guy, and the Kardashians have more or less like completely ruined the psyche of every single athlete any of them have ever dated. Is that an incorrect statement?
No, I think that's
Tristan's.
no.
I mean, Tristan's not doing horrible. I guess that's like the one.
Yeah, and
Lamar's
that has
doing
to be,
okay now.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's not even just like athletes. Like I think it's or what was it, like the Devin Booker theory too, like with Kendall Jenner? Did he start playing badly? No, but when they were, didn't he start playing badly as well, or?
Not really. He's been pretty much a stud as far as like on the court. I guess off it as well too. But he's like, I don't think that necessarily. I think the Kardashian athlete curse comes more from like ruining their actual lives, not necessarily like their on court performance.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't need to rehash the Lamar Odom situation, but
No.
not great.
Yeah.
Not great. And I think that's like where people are kind of coming from is like, but again, I don't think at this point Tom Brady's not really the one who would fall into this trap. I think he's been around the block at this point. I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I think so too. At first, I was kind of, because I know nothing about Tom Brady other than that he's Tom Brady. But I was thinking initially, like, I was like, oh yeah, like he has no idea. You know what I mean? Like he's just like, oh, I'm a single dad now. Like I'm single. Kim Kardashian. Like why not? But now that you explained your side of it, like I can totally see how it could be calculated. And you're right, he probably does know exactly what he's doing. But hey, just business, I guess.
Yeah, that's just business, you know. I mean, he's got a smart team.
Sorry, I just knocked something over.
He's got a smart team. I think he knows kind of what he's doing. I think as long as they don't invest in any cryptocurrency exchanges anytime soon, I think they'll be fine. That's like the one thing that they haven't really been great at. But like I'm sure all their other investments are fine. You know, so did you know that Tom Brady and Giselle lost $30 million in FTX?
No,
you know
I didn't. But damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Hold on, let me confirm that. I want to say it was 30 million.
Sorry, it's so dark in here right now. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, I thought you were about to say sorry for Brady and Giselle. I'm like, no, don't be.
Yeah, and it's like she's a supermodel, but she's also old now, so it's not like she's like the hottest girl.
So as a couple, they lost 48 million.
Wow.
Tom himself lost 30. Giselle put 18 and lost all 18.
Good golly.
I know.
I don't even know what to
Pretty
say to
wild.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Brady too is like, and this is gonna seem insane to say, but it's like kind of true. He has not made as much money as you think he has. Because so many years when he was on the Patriots, he specifically, like one of the reasons why he has 7 Super Bowls is because he deliberately took pay cuts to make sure that there's enough money that the rest of the team has to sign good players. Because he's like ultra competitive. Yeah, not like super
really
money
cool.
hungry.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's awesome.
So there's other quarterbacks who are not nearly as good as him who have made way more than him.
Right.
But
I never knew that. Damn.
So that's a cool thing, I guess.
Well, I guess we'll see. You know what I mean? Am I going to be proved wrong again like I was with Pete? But no, and I guess I won't be proved wrong because I didn't say that I don't think they're going to get together. It's hard for me to see Tom Brady stepping out with her. And it's like, what's that going to do to his kids? I don't know how old his kids are, but they know who Kim Kardashian is. You know what I mean? Like in situations like these, I really do think about the kids. Like I'm always like, damn, like, and that was my argument with Kim. I was like, is Kim really going to bring Pete around her kids? Like, she's a mom of 4. Like, is she really going to publicly date? And, like, not that she doesn't have the right to. She absolutely does. But I just know how protective of a mother that she is. And I was thinking the same thing with Tom. Like, is he going to... But, hey, maybe his kids will think it's sick. You never know. It's 2023.
Oh, Dad,
kids...
sick.
It's 2023. Kids are totally cool with divorce these days. Not really, but it just happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, like... Do you remember? And like, this is the other thing too. Like, I don't know if this was like the first time they were ever like publicly photographed, but do you recall one of the first times they were publicly photographed was
No.
Kim, Pete. I don't remember who his date was, but Jeff Bezos. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yes, I do. Now that you say Jeff Bezos, yeah.
It was like some woman, Jeff Bezos, Pete, and Kim, and they had I think they were at Craig's in LA. It's a very famous, like, I think it's a steakhouse.
Yeah.
It's like the paparazzi hang out outside there all day, and like, so it's kind of like, well, if she's not gonna, like, why would she be totally cool with hanging out with Bezos and Pete as well? Like, that doesn't really make it better. Maybe it does, actually. Hold on. Let me rethink that. Maybe so much attention is on the fact that she's with Bezos and people are being like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Right.
What do y'all have in common?
Right.
What do y'all have to talk about? And so that kind of distracts from Pete, actually.
No, that's an
So
interesting
here's my
point.
prediction. All right, so here's my prediction.
Okay.
About 2 months from now, around when the NFL comes back, there will be a picture in TMZ of Kim, Tom Brady, Elon Musk, and someone else at Nobu in Malibu.
Mark Zuckerberg.
And they're gonna be having, or Mark, sure, yeah. Well, Mark's not, he's got like weirdly, he's like so weirdly like one of the more normal ones where he's just like, I have a family. He's like, I just want to conquer the world at home with my family around.
True.
I don't want to do it in front of cameras.
True.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
More
fair.
power to you.
So
that's my prediction.
I feel like that's a pretty good prediction. I can already picture it in my head. All right, should we wrap it up? Because I'm fucking baking in the sun here, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Baking in the literal sun. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I got my new setup, and it's directly.
Yeah, it
in the
doesn't
sun.
look great. Doesn't it look great, guys?
Yeah, it does look great. Sorry if I was messing with my mic, but yeah, sorry if for you loyal YouTube watchers, really appreciate it. I think our first video got like over 50 views, which is sick.
You don't have to. If you touch the mic, it like makes a sound, I think.
Oh,
so don't
sorry.
touch it, but
I'll say that again.
no, you're fine.
Anyway, for our loyal YouTube watchers, really appreciate you guys. Sorry if my face went dark during the second half. It's the Atlanta afternoon sunshine really beating in on me right now, so I'll fix it for next time.
Well, we haven't had sunshine in Pensacola in like a week, so
It's crazy.
not really better, but at least my face is consistent. It's consistently gray.
I don't
So-
want to say global warming because I know that triggers a lot of people, but the weather we've had lately, I mean, the fires in Canada, the hail in Atlanta, the hail in Denver. Helen sent me a video from Colorado a couple weeks ago. Her car was literally getting pelted with hail, like bigger than ice cube hail, like real hail just out in Denver. It hails in Atlanta. It rains every single day almost everywhere. It's unseasonably hot. Like, there's something going on with the climate.
Yeah, I need to call. We need to call Greta Thunberg and be like, "What's going on? You're supposed to."
Yeah,
fix
we do.
this." Like,
Seriously,
what are
Greta.
you doing?
Seriously, you're not doing your job, little Greta. Little G.
She's like, I'm on a sailboat trying to go to Tokyo to speak at this thing. I'm like, well, you're not doing enough.
She's prepping
Sorry.
she's prepping for a TED Talk at the age of 16, but yeah, she needs to keep her priorities straight for real.
Yeah, that'd be sick if you could make it a little bit cooler, Greta.
Dude,
That'd be
honestly,
great.
I'm like, hopefully this Greta stuff makes it into the episode because she has some pretty good clapbacks on social media. So Greta, if you're out there, comment section is free.
Yeah, tell us what you think of our show and be as mean as possible.
Yeah.
Please
do.
There you go.
I read all the comments. I don't, but
All right. Also, by the way, just before I forget, and this will probably be outdated by the time that this comes out, but that deer video has 75,000 views right now.
oh, I know. You guys
It's
loved it.
insane.
You ate that stuff
Yeah.
up. And
It has nothing to do with our podcast, but
Nothing
thank
to do
you
with our
very
podcast.
much for watching that.
And I will just say, like, we would not lie to you guys. Like, the deer is fine. We heard that from people that were downstairs. Obviously, we weren't downstairs at the time. We heard that there was a large truck parked on the parking garage underneath. And, like, there was just, like, there's, like, a second level there. So the deer didn't actually fall, like, as great of a distance as it looked. And apparently it just landed on a truck It deployed the airbags. So, like, it was a hard fall. It deployed the airbags of the truck it landed on, and then it just ran off into the woods. Like, we promise he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was really funny how, like, I put in the video, like, right after he falls, hey, he's fine, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
And, like, for the first day it was up, like, a third of the comments were like, how's the deer? Is the deer okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, did that text not pop up? And I watched it again, and it's like the second it jumps, that pops up. I'm like, y'all are okay.
No,
fine.
yeah, no, for sure. And I knew when we posted that video that was gonna happen. But that's what disclaimers are for, people. Read disclaimers before you comment. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, yeah,
Seriously, guys. No, just kidding. Comment whatever you want. I don't care.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is episode 2 of the Leen Show. 2 out of 5. Actually, I don't know if y'all know this. We're only making 5 episodes and we're done. So you better enjoy these last 3.
Yeah, guys.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, that's not true. That
you know,
scared
thank
me.
you very
No,
much
that scared me. That scared me. I'm like, is that true? Oh my god. No. Thank God.
Yeah,
that's not true.
you know, YouTube only picked up the Leen Show for 5 episodes. So we're going to make these as good as possible. And then after that, I don't know.
They're going to be 3 hours long each. Imagine listening to a 3-hour-long podcast. They're probably out there, but...
Oh, there's tons. I've done it before. There's
True.
4-hour podcasts.
Oh, jeez. Not 4
Joe
hours.
Rogan.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
average-
yeah.
The average Rogan podcast is at least 2.5 hours.
God, fuck. Sorry, my face is itching. Okay,
Yeah.
let's wrap.
But all right, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at The Leen Show. Those pages are growing very rapidly. We have, I think, like
Absolutely.
110 followers on Instagram.
Yes, we do.
Like 40, 45 or 46 on TikTok. But we've, getting a lot of good views, a lot of likes. Thank you guys so much. We really love doing this, and we hope that, you guys enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoy making it. Am I right?
Yeah. And if you guys ever want us to talk about something specific, don't forget, like, we have our email in our Instagram bio and our TikTok bio and on our link tree. So contact theleenshow@gmail.com. If you guys want us to cover something, just shoot us an email. Or if you have a funny story you want us to tell, shoot us an email. We'll read them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Glazed Eyes, Way Down, album coming soon.
Hell yeah.
Play us out.